Hello everyone, in this video we will discuss some of the applications of quadratic function in real life. So as we know that the standard equation of quadratic function is given by fx is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a, b and c are any real numbers with a not equal to 0. Okay, so depending upon the value of a, the function will attain the maximum value or minimum value. So for instance, if your function is like this is the graph of your function. So you know that the function will attain a maximum value here. So this value is maximum value. Okay. And if you remember, how do we find the maximum value? This is the axis of symmetry. So we find this as vertex. This is our vertex with minus b over 2a as the axis of symmetry, and the value of the function at this point as the value of y-axis. Here this curve is y equal f of x. So this value, the second value, always gives us the maximum or minimum value for the vertex. In this particular case, this value is the maximum value. So the application that we are going to study here is based on this maximum and minimum value. So if your curve is like this, then this value, the y value of the vertex gives you the maximum value. On the other hand, if your parabola is like this, you will have a minimum value here. In this case, when we have this shape of the figure, here we will have the minimum value. Again, the axis of symmetry where it divides the graph into two parts. So it will have the function will have the minimum value. Okay, so what you have to do basically whenever you have to find the minimum or maximum value, find the vertex. Find the vertex. So in vertex you will have the x value and the value of the function. So this value always gives you the minimum or maximum value. So when you look at the graph, say this is x-axis and say this is y-axis. So this value is the minimum value. So this value is the minimum value means this distance is the minimum value. So generally they'll ask you what is the minimum value or how much is the minimum value. Okay, or what is the maximum value. So this distance. Basically this is the distance that you denote by y. Okay, so how much is the maximum value? What is the maximum value? At what point you reach the max? At Now, on the other hand, they'll ask you at what point you reach the maximum value. It means this distance. That is the x value. So basically, you use the value of x is like at what point or when, at what point you reach the maximum or minimum value. And whenever they ask you how much is the maximum value, how much is the minimum value, what is the minimum value, it's the value of y. So for instance, let's consider an example. A stone is thrown upward from the top of a 50-meter high building at a speed of 85 meters per second. The equation can model the stone's height above the ground as this. So this is your equation. Okay. So you need to focus on the equation. Now they are asking about when does the stone reaches the maximum height? When? When does? And what is the maximum height? Basically, in this question, what you have to do is you have to find the vertex. Okay. So for vertex, first we need the axis of symmetry. For that, first you need the values of a, b, and c. So this is your given equation. It doesn't matter what coefficient it is having, like what variable it is having, x, t, or anything. Just check the coefficient of power 2, t power 2 or x power 2. This gives you the value of a. The coefficient of t, that gives you the value of b, and the constant term without any t gives you the value for c. Okay, getting this, what you will do after this? You will find the axis of symmetry, which is given by minus b over 2a. Okay, which is minus b is 30 over 2 times A. A is minus 3. When you solve it, what you will get? You will get the value as, yes, 30 divide 6. That is, you'll get it as 5. Okay. So this is the first point of your vertex. Remember, we are finding the vertex and the first value is 5. Now what next you have to do is substitute this value of x that you obtain here in place of t. In your question, if you see it x, replace it by in place of x. Okay. So what this gives you? Minus 3 in place of t, what you are having 5 power 2 plus 30 times 5 plus 73. So what we did? We just replace t by 5. Okay. Solving this, and you solve it by using calculator, you will get the answer as 148. So your vertex becomes 5 and comma 148. So as I told you earlier, always the second value gives you the maximum or minimum value. So generally they ask what is the maximum value? How much is the maximum value? So the answer is this one. So here they ask you when does the stone reaches its maximum height? When? And here what is the maximum height? So what is the maximum height? It means the value is 148. The answer for this part is 148. And when does the stone reaches the maximum height? It's this. Okay, so if you draw the graph, it means you reach here. This is say 5, 148. So this distance is 148, the value of y. And this is 5. Okay, so this is how you get your answer. So this is the maximum height, which is given by always the y coordinate. Let's consider another example. Rocket is launched in the air. Its height in meters above the sea level as a function of time in seconds is given by this. So again, you will have an expression here. Okay. What is the maximum height and when does the rocket attain its maximum height? So for both the equations, you need to find the vertex. So again, comparing, we get the value of A as minus 4.9, value of B as 229, the coefficient of T, and value of C as 234. So start by finding the axis of symmetry, which is minus B over 2A, which is minus 229 over 2 times A minus 4.9. So when you solve it by using calculator, you will get a value in decimal. Since minus and minus, it will become a positive value, 23.367, or you can write 37. It's fine. Okay, so when you are writing the vertex, this is the first value, 23.367. Now you need to find the value of y. So what you will do for that, you will replace this 23.367 here in place of t. Other things remain same, similar to what we did in the previous example. So it is minus 4.9. This is same. Here you will write 23.367 power 2 plus 229 to 3.367 plus 234. So what you did, you are just replacing the value of t by this calculated value. Okay, and when you solve it by using calculator again, you get as 2909.56. So this is the y coordinate of your vertex. So as I said, this always gives you the maximum or minimum value. In this case, as A is negative, it will is a maximum value. So the question says, what is the maximum height? So it means it is 2909.56. And when does the rocket attains the maximum height? So it's this one. So once you get the first answer, you can easily get the second answer. This can be used even to find the revenue. Okay, it's not necessary it always gives you the height. It also deals with the maximum revenue or minimum revenue. Okay, so again, in that case, what you have to do, look at the question. This is your question. Find the value of A. A is 1. B is the coefficient of X, which is 15, and C is the constant. Okay, again, it asks about the maximum or minimum. So it means you have to find the axis of symmetry and the vertex. So axis of symmetry minus B over 2A. I hope by this time you remember this formula. So it is minus 15 above divided by 2 times 1, which is minus 7.5. So this is the first point of the vertex, minus 7.5. Now, next what you have to do, you have to replace the x in both the places by minus 7.5. Okay, so when we work on it, we get, just in place of x, we are writing minus 7.5 power 2 plus 15 times minus 7.5 plus 200. Okay, what we did, we didn't make any more changes. We simply replaced x by minus 7.5. Okay, when you calculate this value, this will give you 143.75. Make sure you enter the terms correctly in the calculator. Okay, so it is 143.75. So it's like find the price at which the revenue is maximum, and here it is, what is the maximum revenue? So again, so the answer is 143.75 for part B. Once you get this answer, the first one, the answer is minus 7.5. I hope it's clear now.